Yeah, one of the this weapon was again one that I had drop and just thought I'll do a build on it. And yeah, I went for the damage here and the durability because one thing to note here, yes, you could do the attack speed, but it's not a massive difference for some reason on this weapon. And I don't know if it's because of it being a legacy item, but basic attacks, yes, attack speed is good. But for charged attacks, there's not much of a difference between having loads of attack speed and not having it. Now this weapon has two ways of attacking. This one, or this one, into two like that. This is really good, this charged attack, with this on the chest here. So I get an extra like 20 poise when I do this. So my poise ends up being 48.5 because I've got 28 base with all my gear. 15, 1, 9, 3. Then I get plus 20. So when I do this, I can't really be staggered unless something pushes me. So you'll see me do this a lot into enemies where I know they're going to hit me and I just tank it and just delete them. But if you want to heal, what do? Uppercut to plague them, and then follow up with a charge attack, and you'll see sometimes I go from like 50 health to 300 health. The lifesteal is insane purely because of the damage output on this, which is crazy. So this is very much like a, if you want to play a sword build, which is pretty quick with the attacks, but it just deletes stuff, like, yeah. I think people who like two-handed weapons might like this as a bit of a quicker version. It is just crazy how much damage it does on the boss, and it's up there really in terms of highest DPS. Like, I just dealt with the Echo Knights so easily their first run. That kill was the first one I did without echoes. So. Yeah, you get the damage boost here. I got 4 into crit chance, which is really nice. You want to try and get 15% here really if you can on crit chance, because the idea is to run crit chance here, and on one of the other pieces. So 3 crit chance, and then try and get the crit damage, right? Because you get 200 base crit damage here, but here I get like another, what, 40 something percent, here about 37, you know, so let's say about 80% extra overall. To 80% crit damage is a lot. But this is one key thing with this build. We're going into damage a lot, right? So I've got plate chest, plate pants, plate gloves with a cloth helmet. So really tanky, lots of armor, and lots of good resist. Because I've got plague resist on here with weight increased. I've got two with on the faster that is, and 2 with stamina regen, and then 1 attack speed. This extra speed. So we're quite tanky here with these, especially these facets up with the stamina and the plague resist. We're tanky with the plate and stuff, right? So I have 4 with plague damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of them got plague damage because you do so much damage with this. You don't need build up. You will instantly just fill the bar up on 1 basic attack, and you'll just be able to lifesteal instantly. So you don't need to worry about lifesteal. Plague does all that for you. Now, one thing I realised with this build, I actually did it on stream live when I was making it. I had armor pen in this slot and this slot. I had about 70% armor pen, and I tested my numbers, and it was about 2,500, let's say. Then when I put armor pen into here, this gave me an extra 22%. So I went from 17 to like, I ended up going from 17 to about 95%, and I was doing an extra like 600 damage. So armor pen is very, very good on every build. If you can get it to 80-90%, you're going to see a big difference in your damage. So yeah, but obviously you need the damage to go with it. Now I've made as much room as possible here to get damage stats in. So I've got armor pen, crit, plague, armor pen, crit, plague, armor pen, crit, plague, crit, plague. But I don't have armor pen here because there's no point, and also charged attack damage. So this is just so much damage output. And one thing you might be thinking is, how is it I'm doing this on this build but not most of the builds? Because most of the builds I don't really do that. Like, a lot of builds you don't really just purely go into damage. Well, you don't really need a lot of utility. Stamina cost is 11, so it's really cheap. And when you're doing so much damage per hit, it's just super efficient on stamina. So I barely have any stamina. But you don't need it. So quite simple to build really. Poise defense while charging is really good, like I said earlier. You charge and you just don't get staggered. And it just allows you to keep stealing life, right? Because without that, you could charge and get knocked over. You could be really low. It's not good. So you definitely want that on the chest. It makes it play like how you want to with all the plate armor, right? And then move speed on charge attack. Really nice on bosses, so when you get in there, just kind of run out and move around much quicker. That's really good. And then health on kill just help with a bit of a boost on ads, you know, just deleting stuff. There's no point getting an extra 30% boost here. If you're not doing the durable stuff with the healing boost, it's not worth it. Health on kill's pretty nice. I get like 20% health on kill. Sometimes you one-hit things, so you don't get lifesteal off the plague if you one-hit them, but this will help you. So I wouldn't change that as well. I think the only thing you might want to change is the weapon. You could do a purple weapon with damage to large enemies, because yeah, the damage is very good, but you need to get 15% in the crit chance here. Or you could get, if you get 15% here and then get like 12 here, that'd be good actually. But yeah, I've got about, so my crit chance is 10 plus 35 there, so that's 45% crit chance there. 55, 62.5. So around about 82% crit chance here, which is really good. So if you can get to around about that, you're going to be doing pretty good, I think. If you can do that while having a purple weapon, get damage to large enemies, crit chance, anything else to do with damage. But the damage to large enemies could be really good for bosses. You could do more damage, and also you could. I only got one exalt in charged attack, so you can get this to like 30-35%, along with you know, more here with the damage to large enemies. You could do way more than me, but yeah, I mean, if I got to 60% on one of my other builds, so you know that goes to 105%. This gives me around about, I think I worked out 17.5 of that. I worked out around about 30% extra damage here with that, which is against every enemy, so it's not too bad. But yeah, you could definitely get more with the damage to large enemies. Now, I'm going to go on to the rings as well. So this is one thing. But now I've got this ring here, but because I've got so much armor that this ring counteracts this ring. So the damage taken by 20%. If I take these rings off, 52% physical resist. Put these two back on, 49%. So it's weird because this is 20% extra damage, which is a lot. Multiplier across all my gear, right? Then this ring just negates it. Now if you have cloth armor, this would not work that well. But 25% of a lot of armor is a lot of armor boosted on top. So this has a big impact, this ring, because of the armor type you wear in here. I would definitely recommend don't change off this build too much, what I've done. It works super well the way it's set up. Poise, tanky, crazy lifesteal, you know, and then run these two rings because you don't need a focus ring, you don't need any stamina. I've already explained, like, you know, it's 11 stamina per charged attack. You know, you only need like 3 charged attacks to kill stuff, including bosses sometimes, so you got decent stamina regen. I have no stamina issues with this build, even with 70 stamina. Don't need it. 70 is a good number to be at. Heavy range as well, you don't need to, well, you do need to dodge roll sometimes, but like I said, just charged attack is like a block with this. When I do this, it's actually like using a shield, really. Putting like your shoulder in front is like blocking in some ways. Unless they're doing a push attack. Speed, obviously. I like speed. Speed's always good. Move speed, attack speed, all that stuff. Yeah, them two cancel each other out, so recommend those two. And stats wise, yeah, I've got a lot of health. You could drop down to 280, 300, yeah, and go for more damage, but what's the point, you know? I'm getting max value out of this lifesteal here. You know, if you go to 280 health, yes, you're going to do more damage, but you're going to be capping your healing. I could probably get to 450 health here so easily, like in 2 seconds. In one hit, you could just get 400 health with this build, so you could even put more in, to be honest with you. Get to 400 health if you really wanted to do that, but yeah, I think this is pretty solid. You know, 320 plus health, 70 stamina, put the rest in damage, get heavy weight. You know, you're at almost 50% physical resist, almost 70% on the plague with the chest, with plague resist in here. So obviously doing plague damage and plague resist. It's a pretty cool little setup with the plague here. So yeah, you're kind of using, obviously the plague is what the enemies use, but you're using it back, right? You're using the same stuff, so plague damage, but you also get that plague resist going as well, and that will help you out. Just so happens I've got really good ice resist, which is also something I would recommend because ice is very, very good for the enemies because it can freeze you pretty quick. But yeah, I think it's pretty simple, you know. Herd Frenzy, very cool item. Super chilled playstyle, and you just, yeah, you walk around like a absolute unit and do what you want. So yeah, if you want to play a sword build which is just really chill and you do some of the craziest damage you can possibly do with a melee build without feeling like you need to drink 10 cans of Red Bull to play it, then I think you'll like this build a lot. Yeah, I just got back from work earlier, came on this, played this, and it's really chilled, really nice to play. So recommend it. Yeah, if you like the look of it. Gonna do some more builds. Like I said, I got a few more weapons that I want to try out, test out. Hopefully we get some news on the next patch at some point. And then yeah, so obviously like I said, videos might slow down a bit, but as soon as they drop that next patch, I will be possibly redoing a lot of these builds because they might do some big nerfs. We'll see. But yeah, I've got some more cool weapons that I want to test out and do some stuff with. So I'll work on those pretty soon.